Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2014 Aiyoh Wat Lah Awards. My name is Suri Kempa. I am with Sisters in Islam, but today I'm not only representing Sisters in Islam, I'm also representing my sister women's rights organizations that comprise the Joint Action Group for Gender Equality. And I'm obliged to read out all names, all the 10 organizations. So here we go. It's All Women's Action Society, AWAM, Pera Women for Women's Society, Persatuan Kesadaran Community Selangor Empower, Persatuan Sahabat Wanita Selangor, PSWS, we have Sabah Women's Action Resource Group, SAWO, of course Sisters in Islam. The Naganita, we have the Association of Women's Lawyers, we have Women's Aid Organization, and we have Women's Center for Change. Alright, so house rules, before we start, house rules, everybody please turn your phones on to silent. If you can't, switch them off, even better. Of course, clap, 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 later when the awards are announced. And here's a little background on Aiyoh Wat Lah Awards. It started some 2 years ago, in 2012. And there were all these horrible, horrible, horrible statements being made in the media by our leaders, by politicians, by people that we know. And there just wasn't a way to hold them accountable. And we wanted to do that, but we didn't want to just issue another press statement which someone could, read or not read. And so what we wanted to do was actually hold them accountable and give them a prize. And so, after a while, we decided that one way to do this was to hold the Aiyoh Wat Lah Awards. And our objective wasn't just to hold people who made misogynistic and sexist statements accountable. Their objectives, I have to read them all. We wanted to raise public awareness on what constitutes sexism, misogyny, homophobia, and transphobia. We wanted to educate the public to expect higher standards of behavior from public figures and institutions. We wanted to encourage public figures and institutions to adhere to higher standards of behavior in relation to gender and sexuality. And hence, Aiyoh Wat Lah was born. But before we start the awards, I wanted to remind everyone that there are free non-alcoholic drinks in the back that you can grab anytime. Just if you do it during the awards, don't trip over anyone or disrupt the awards. And if you want other type of drinks, they're also available at the bar. There's also food available. And please feel free to grab them at the back. Now, keeping with our 2-year tradition, we have our own superstar to host the awards. So without further ado, please put your hands together for Ribena Berry.
All of you today because it's Sunday afternoon. Some more yesterday, not such good news for all the women in Malaysia. So never mind. Even though the news is not very good, I'm glad you could come out and try again. We get knocked down and we try again. But I have to say, hello, my name is Ribena Berry. But I am very worried. I'm a very worried girl today. I never used to be so worried like this, but nowadays I'm a very worried, because why? You want to know why? Because in all over the world, not just Malaysia, something is very going wrong. Here got the man shooting the woman for what? Because he doesn't like women, because they don't like him. Then in Malaysia, you got the 30 men want to rape women. What for? Because they want to rape women. And what is all the concern in Malaysia about? We want to talk about Cadbury chocolate. Something is very wrong with the state of the nation. If we want to spend all our time talking about chocolate, I got nothing against the chocolate, but I think so we must have some perspective. So that's why we're here today. Today we're here to look at the Aiyoh Wat Lah Awards. Now these awards is just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, just the tip of the iceberg. The iceberg is very big, 95% below water. But here is just the tip of the iceberg. And we have various categoricals today for you to look at. So here today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 award categories to look at. The first award category is called the Foot in Mouth Award. This award is for people who didn't mean to say something sexist, didn't mean to say something misogynistic, didn't mean to be transphobic. They are just stupid. We can also call this the Aiyoh Bodoh category. But then there's another category for insulting intelligence. Now this is an award for people who mean what they say. When they are being stupid, they are proud of being stupid. Yeah, they enjoy being stupid. They enjoy being sexist and homophobic. We call this category maybe the Bodoh Sombong Award. The third category is the policy fail. This is not on the individual level anymore. No, this is too big for individual level. This is when government decide, let's have a policy to be more stupid. Yeah. So this is a policy, so we want to honor, we want to give award to all those people making all the policies to make homophobia, transphobia, sexism and misogyny a way of life. Yes, because this is our Malaysia identity they want to promote. The next award, of course, Malaysia always boleh. The next award is the Cannot Ignore Awards. These awards are given to those people who are truly committed to the role of gender inequality. The other nominees are all amateur compared to this one. They are making a profession to be gender unequal. Then of course we have a category to celebrate the sisterhood. Not that sisterhood, a different sisterhood who don't know how to be sisterhood. And this is the least helpful to the sisterhood category. Yes, we like to call this award Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves. And then we have the category which is the Enough Lah category. This category is in the category we like in Malaysia, where if you are going to say something stupid, it is worth saying it again. If you are going to say something stupid, it is worth saying it again. But finally, we have one good category, and this is the category of right on track. Because as much as there was a lot of bad news, there was some very good news. But first, bad news. So, in the Foot in Mouth category, or as I like to say, the Aiyoh So Bodoh Awards, the first nominee is the Star Online article. The Star Online ran an article about women in the general election, candidates. What are they looking at in the candidate? They do a whole article on the candidates' looks. How do they look? Now, I don't think so when they want to do an article on the men's candidate, they ask the Dr. Mahathir, what foundation you use? They never ask the Najib, what is the color of your lip gloss? Although personally speaking, I would like to know the color of his lip gloss. It's always so glossy. I'm a bit jealous. Then another nominee is this one. This is one of my favorite. I did not mean that women are property. What I meant was, if we build a house and we want the house to look nice, then it needs makeup. Like how women put on makeup. This of course was said by our Federal Territory Minister, our returning nominee, Tunku Adnan. This is what he said to apologize to women. Yes, because originally he was explaining about property valuation in Malaysia. He said, if you want to make your property more valuable, want to enhance your property, it's the same as women. If you don't wear makeup, then your price is cheaper. But if you wear makeup, then it's pricier. So he said, these people say to Tunku Adnan, you cannot say this. So, I'm sorry, I want to apologize. So he said, what I mean is, women are not property? No. But if you want a house to look nice, then you must wear makeup like a woman. This is his way to apologize. I think next time don't apologize lah. Yeah. So unfortunately, I think so. He had his foot very far inside his mouth. That's why he talked like that. His mother never told him, Tunku, don't talk with your mouth full. It's very rude. And the next category is for writing an overly sexualized column using constant references to fellatio. Oh, you all know this one. Oh, I think so. This is a hot favorite. So I'm very sweaty. Got tissue. When I think of this, I get very sweaty. So in this letter, the lawyer borrowed fictional monkey character Lord Bobo. Lord Bobo was asked by a young woman, "Hey, Lord Bobo, dear Lord Bobo, I want to give my boyfriend a Christmas present. What should I give him?" So Bobo, because he's a monkey, he said to her, "You give your boyfriend fellatio." Yes, because he's a monkey. This is all monkeys think about, fellatio and bananas. Or bananas and blowjobs. You see, later the Lord Bobo said, no, you misunderstand me. I was just monkeying around. Yeah, he was misunderstood. He said he was trying to be funny. He was being ironical. See, I didn't understand at the time. I always thought Lord Bobo was a monkey, a man pretending to be a monkey. Because when monkeys want to be funny, they take their feces, they throw at people. This is how a monkey is funny. So I thought, oh, Lord Bobo is a man pretending to be a monkey. Then I realized, no, Lord Bobo is a monkey. Then it made everything very clear to me. Yeah, but one helpful hint to Lord Bobo, because he said, one help, you are making a joke, then it's not a very funny joke. This is just a small hint for comedy lah. And the winner is the envelope, please. This is my beautiful assistant. Is this the envelope, please? Not yet. Yes. And the winner is foot in mouth category. Please open. Please hold your breath. And the winner is, I did not mean that women are property. What I meant was, if you want a house to be nice, you must wear makeup because makeup makes you more valuable. Women with makeup are more valuable. No, I like women who wear makeup because they are more valuable. No, wearing women who have makeup means they cost more. Something like that. So please thank you to the Tunku Adnan for his wonderful statement. Unfortunately, Tunku Adnan cannot be here to collect his award because he's currently saving up money to have an operation to take his foot out of his mouth. So he's basking somewhere else. So want to insult your intelligence, not because they are just stupid. This is what we call the bodoh sombong. I want to be stupid. I enjoy being stupid. So the first statement we want to give the nominee to is a statement that praised the appointment of 7 women into the Malaysian cabinet as a historic achievement. Wow! Our Prime Minister said this marks a new era in the history and achievement of women in politics. 7 whole women in a country of how many million? 30 million. Got 7 women. This is historic, he said. Now, there are only 7 out of 63 ministers and deputy ministers in the parliament. They represent 11%. Of this, only 5% are ministers. We women are 50% of the populations. Actually, today, more than 50% of the population. But we only have 5% of the representation. I know nowadays in Malaysia our maths is not very good. We cannot decide, should we study maths in English or study maths in Bahasa? So in the end, we don't study maths. So we know it's a problem, but this is a problem. The next nominee is this. Air Asia uniforms are sexy and they do not reflect the nation's identity. This was said by Iqmal Hisham Abdul Aziz, the UMNO MP, who brought up this very, very important issue about how short is the skirt of Air Asia air stewardess. He brought this issue up where? In Parliament. Yes, because Parliament is for that. Yes, Parliament is not for running the country. No, Parliament is a place where you can be a fashion consultant. Yeah, he doesn't understand. Parliament is Parliament. It is not Project Runway. But they let all the imagination run away with them. Also, I don't understand why is sexy clothes not reflective of our nation's identity. I'm a Malaysia girl. Look at me. And Malaysia have always been sexy. People always wore the baju kebaya. So what we want to do? We want to ban all the P. Ramlee film, is it? Because it does not reflect our Malaysian identity. Then we need to ban the Najib Tun Razak also. All his suit made in Savile Row. In the England, if he want to reflect Malaysian identity, he should buy his suit from Kamda. He start a petition lah, Kamda for PM suits. The next nominee is this statement. I'm so sweaty. The Sharia flogging requires that the female offender is in a sitting position when she needs to be whipped, not a standing position like men. This is proof to all of us that Islam gives a lot of respect to the woman because she's allowed to sit down when you cane her. Horrors. Now, this is said by the women's wing of one of our favorite organizations, ISMA. Nobody ever heard of ISMA before. Suddenly, they're all over the place. But after the JAG said to them they are very concerned that the Johor Religious Department were caning women and men for incest and sex outside wedlock, ISMA said they fully support whipping for women. So the women can sit and the man will stand and whip them. I also don't know what century I'm living in sometimes. I don't know what country I'm living in anymore. But the winner of the Bodo Sombong Awards is... Music, please. Will you open the envelope, please? And the award goes to the Sharia flogging requires that the female offender in a sitting position. You see, so the official winner of the Bodo Sombong Award is whipping. So, if Wanita Isma gets its way, there will be public flogging outside Merdekarya every day. Yeah, but it's okay, it should improve alcohol sales. Yeah. You see, so every silver lining has a cloud. Unfortunately, the women from Wanita Isma could not be here today to collect the awards because they said Merdekarya serves alcohol. Oh, sorry, please put away the shandy. No need for shandy. Okay, now we go to a government level. Our next category is policy fail. The first nominee in policy fail is a government department deciding to sponsor a musical against all the LGBT community. Yes, but it's a musical, so must go, oh yeah. This musical is called Asmara Song Sang. They song some blues. In this musical called Abnormal Desire, we see the lives of three evil LGBT people. We know they are LGBT because they are dressed very colorfully. Oh, there's a lot of color here. But we don't know because the colorful characters are all lesbian. So we don't know how to tell actually if they are lesbian because we know how to tell the men. If you are gay, you have the pastel shirt, V-neck, But the parliament has not yet told us how to identify the lesbian woman. So I'm a bit confusion. Maybe there are lesbians here, we don't know because we don't know how the lesbian dress. We only know how the gay men dress. But anyway, lucky for all of us in Malaysia, in the play, those who continued with this lifestyle choice of being lesbian were killed by lightning. Yes, this is why God invented lightning. Yeah, to kill all the lesbians. Yeah. And the director Malaysia was an effort by the government to combat the existence of LGBT because LGBT is spreading. It's spreading like butter. I think they don't know the difference between LGBT and anchor butter. But it's not a virus, you know. This cannot spread. So maybe instead of trying to stop LGBT, they should try to stop spreading actual illnesses like dengue. Yeah? So the next nominee is the Penang State Government, who said they would reconsider sending the female athletes to future Sukma Games. Why is this? Because there was a rape case during the Sukma Games in UPM in 2013. So they say, oh, this is very bad. Of course it's very bad. So the result is, what policy do they want to do? We don't send any female athletes there. We stop all the action for all the female athletes. So this is a very interesting way to do policy. You don't create awareness, you don't create better public safety, you just stop women from taking part in games. This is like last time the chief police officer said, if there is snatch theft, the way to stop the snatch theft is you don't carry handbag. So of course the only way not to get raped is not to go to dangerous places like Sukma, where you can get raped. Because you mustn't go to all those dangerous places. Of course, all those dangerous places is everywhere in Malaysia. So I think so the government will come up with another solution from Project Runway, where they will invent a new chastity belt for all Malaysian women. Thank you. I'm sweating. Thank you. Okay, and the next nominee is not from Penang, but all the way to Kelantan. So we see gender inequality is very equal opportunity in all our states. And the Kelantan government decided they will want to have a role model to show all the Kelantanese men how to be a good husband. And the role model they want to choose is a husband who got 4 wives. Because they want to say, if he can have 4 wives and all his wife very happy, he's a very good role model because it can show everybody, if he can take care of 4 wives, you can take care of 4 wives. Oh, sorry, you cannot take care of 4 wives, you're Chinese. The Chinese don't know how to take care of 4 wives. 40 wives can. Indian people also cannot take care of even 1 wife, they think. So anyway, everywhere else in the world, people are turning away from polygamy, but in Kelantan, they want to have a reality show to say, polygamy is for everybody. If you're a man, if you're Muslim, if you got money, if you're, and I don't want to say. Anyway, can say, I really cannot. The next nominee also is from the fair state of Kelantan. So let's be fair to Kelantan. Here in Kelantan, they decided to have a policy against hairdressers. Because hairdressers are very dangerous people. You never know what they're going to do next. I myself have had a few disastrous haircuts. You think this is my natural hair color? Yes, anyway, less of that. Anyway, so in Kelantan, in Kota Baru, the hairdresser got the warning. You must remove all the poster of people showing their hair. Because you cannot advertise a place to cut hair by showing somebody who got hair. Maybe they can show the Jean-Luc Picard, got no hair. So it's too logical to advertise something to cut hair by showing hair. Also, it's too sexy, and we cannot have so much sexism in Malaysia. So, and of course, what they decided was this must be a policy at state level. So this is what is important for our government, deciding how you can cut your hair, what picture you see before you go cut your hair. So again, this is another example of the government forgetting they are government and thinking they are Project Runway. Yeah. Now it's time for your hair and makeup designers, so please send your models to the Garnier and L'Oreal hair and makeup room. Thank you, models. I think they've been watching too much reality TV. But Malaysia is not a reality show. Malaysia is very unreal. So I think the government should try to make it real and try to govern the country. Maybe give us water. maybe try not to give us so much traffic jam. Maybe try to have some education for the ministers. I don't know, this is really going out there. Maybe they should look into crime prevention. But there are so many criminals running on the highway because all the policemen are chasing hairdressers. Anyway, let's not anymore about the hair, and the winner is... The winner for policy fail.
The winner is the government department sponsoring asrama song propaganda.
Yes! We are so happy, so much money was spent on Asmara Songsang. This musical was so important, Hamai, that they let people go to see it for free. They gave free tickets to everybody. Then they went to take it to so many schools in Malaysia for free. Unfortunately, I've just heard that all the people connected to the making of Asmara Songsang, the funding of Asmara Songsang, the conceiving of Asmara Songsang will not come to collect the award because they are scared there are so many lesbians here tonight that they may get struck by lightning. So, now we have to take a little break in our program. Not a very big break. This is a break to say, give us a break. Gender equality needs a break. They need your help. They need your funds. So please reach into your pocket. The lady over there has got a donation box. Please reach deep inside your pocket, deep inside your purse, if you have it hasn't been stolen, and try to give a little bit back to the Joint Action Committee for their wonderful work. Please, a big round of applause to the Joint Action Group for gender equality. So she will just pass the box around. I will continue.
If you already given, it's fine.
Huh?
Some have given downstairs.
Okay, if you gave already, you can give again. They don't mind. We're very open-minded here. Okay, the next category is the cannot ignore category. Just like you cannot ignore this plastic box. So the cannot ignore category is to say now we are going to look at the work of professionals. Professionals who are working very hard to make sure there is no gender equality in this country. Now I know they are having a very hard time. We got people like Pang Ki-tek going off and doing gender equality studies, don't know why. He made their life very hard for them. But it's okay, there's only one of him and many of them. And many of you also, so maybe they can do something. So the first award nominee is going to a particular case. The case that indicated that the government said they have no objection to statutory rape. The case being withdrawn as long as the offender went to the Sharia court and settled the matter. No, he settled the matter. Yes, so the Deputy Public Prosecutor, Ahmad Nazim Zulkifli, said, this is in Sabah, said that the case involving this man, he's 40 years old, he raped a girl, 13 years old, he said it's okay because the man said, I'm going to marry her. Yeah, no need to clap for him, thank you. So this is the first nominee. And then the next nominee for not fielding any women among 40% of new women in the last general election. In the Pahang, the past commissioner, Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man, said he did not field women as candidates even though there were 40% new candidates. The reason he gave is because women were not ready due to work and other commitments. I don't know what is the other commitments. What are these other commitments? Don't men have other commitments? No other commitments, they just need to be men. Men are just so busy being men, they have no time for other commitments. But I think so the commitments, what is the commitment he's talking about? The commitment is to be a wife. The commitment is to be a mother, to cook, to clean, do the laundry, buy the groceries, and bring up children. Because all of these are commitments men don't know how to commit to. This is what he's saying. Now the men among you, are you angry? You should be. If you're not angry, shame on you. The person next to you, hit him. If you are not, you hit him gently. Cannot, okay, then you just reprimand him. You give him a very angry look, like this. If you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And how big is the problem? During the last election, there was a printing and distributing of election pamphlet insinuating that a woman who is a mother would not be a good MP in Parliament. It's true. In the Kulai constituent, the candidate Teo Ni Ching, she's a mother. So they distribute the pamphlet. In the pamphlet, they say, you are going back to circle. If we have a problem, who should we look to? Your mother lah. Huh? What do you mean, who you want? I want to smack them, but I won't because I'm against violence. But I think no need to say anymore. This is when the men become such a big part of the problem. That's why we have problem like the next nominee, who's referred to a member of parliament, an elected representative of all of you, as a Kiasu spinster. This, of course, is a very famous Ridwan T, also known as Big Mouth, who called Teresa Kopp a Kiasu spinster. So I don't understand, if you are unmarried woman, you cannot be a candidate. If you are a married woman, also cannot be a candidate. If you are a woman who wears a skirt, you cannot be a candidate. If you are a woman who wears lipstick and so your value is high, you cannot be a candidate. But if you are a woman, don't wear lipstick, your value is low, then you also cannot be a candidate. So no wonder only 5% of our women are candidates. Nobody can become a candidate. Very tiring. So the next nominee is the following statement. This fellow who said, if I were to go with you, people will say, this is a new girlfriend. Nanti susah. What is the story behind this? This I tell you, there are two DAP elected representatives, Violet Yong, Christina Chew. Then they invite the Sarawak minister, Abang Johari, to see for himself the problem faced by the hawker in his area. He said to both of them, if I go with you, people will say you are my new girlfriend. Nanti susah. This is my constituency. Then they look at me, nanti susah. Then he say, belum kahwin kah? Saya ada kuota 3 lagi. I think in one statement he made at least 75 mistakes. Somehow he didn't go and visit the hawkers. Somehow he thinks all the women want him so much. I think so perasan. I saw his photo, no need to be so perasan. Okay, and the winner is... Cannot ignore category. Okay, the winner is rape is okay if you marry your victim. Okay, it's not really that, but the winner of this nominee is the sister will say it's okay, will find a way to excuse the man. Unfortunately, the winner of this award cannot be here today because he's currently spending time outside a primary school trying to find another wife. He's very interested in education. Maybe he should be a minister. Anyway, so the next category is least helpful to the sisterhood. Yeah, so it's so nice to know it's not just the men. So all the men who are feeling bad, don't feel so bad. Now you can give a hard stare to the women also. Yeah. There are only 2 nominees, but they're very important nominees. The first nominee is to those people who urge the government to ban indecent dressing in order to stop sexual crime and sexual harassment. So here, the past Member of Parliament, Siti Zaila Muhammad Yusof, decided that the reason why women have sex crimes perpetrated against them is because of the way they dress. Yes, here is another Member of Parliament who believes her time in Parliament is to talk about fashion. We have so many fashion consultants. So you see, it's not just men in Malaysia who are elected representatives who think they must talk about fashion. Now even women, we vote them in to be MPs just so they can talk about what clothes we should wear. So Siti Zailiha also thinks she is in Project Runway. So she said this is the biggest reason that women get raped and molested. She said if women dress properly, then there be no problem. So I think so now in the Parliament, in the Project Runway, they're going to be designing dresses for all of us. Yeah, make it work, designers. That's all I can say. And the next category nomination is stating that better laws are needed to protect men from domestic violence. Now it's true, maybe earlier I was a bit violent to some of you, I apologize. Feelings are running high, but you know I would never do it, I'm all talk, no action. But of course there is domestic violence against men and I do not condone it. But the Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Rohani Abdul Karim, whose job it is to protect women, said the government should improve legal protection for men because women got enough help. Yeah, she said some more the reason why we have so much domestic violence against men is because nowadays wives are hot-tempered. They are too well educated and they have better jobs than their husbands. Yeah, and some more, the husbands are like this because nowadays all the Malaysian men are getting very effeminate. Yeah. So I guess she felt the men also were asking for it. And the winner is... Red is... Oh, the winner is... No. I don't know what the winner is. It's a secret ballot. Please help go to the Sisterhood. Come, sister. To you. And the winner is red is our fault because of how we dress. So I mean, urging the government to make us dress decently so we don't get raped is the winner. So I want to say thank you to all our sisters in Parliament who are working so hard as parliamentarians. Unfortunately, none of our sisters could be here today because they are all currently stuck in a time warp. Yeah, and so they won't make it. They'll be very late by the time they get here. By the time they get here, it'll be the 25th century. Speaking of time warp, now we take a little break to ask who is the owner of PJD 4857. Because your car is blocking. Some people want to come through the time warp, your car is blocking. So please go and unblock your car, then we can invite them here afterwards to have a drink with us. So PJD 4857. Not here. They went to Sun Krishna Curry House, you see. Okay, never mind. Okay, and the next category is enough already! Enough already! Because this is the category where if somebody says something stupid, it's worth repeating. So here, we will notice a particular trend. The first nominee in this category is characterizing the LGBT community as dangerous, a social ill that is infectious, a threat which needs to be curbed. So we have many people warning us that LGBT is an infectious disease. I'm a bit confusion. I always thought that mumps is an infectious disease. So I think these people cannot tell the difference between mums and LGBT. Maybe this is a problem with our education system. Maybe we had one doctor in charge too long. But it made me think maybe it's time for some new medicine, some new education about doctoring. So they say that it's an infectious disease. Who are these people people, there are so many, I cannot tell you all. But on top of my list is the Deputy Prime Minister, Muhyiddin Yassin. Also on the list of people who call it an infectious disease is the Education Minister, Muhammad Puat. Also calling it an infectious disease is Muhammad Khairiri Ramli, the president of an NGO that runs programs to cure the sick people who are LGBT. They will cure them of their infection. I don't know what they give them, injection like that. And then help them return to the right path. There's also the MP from the UMNO, the Noor Omar, who said that the biggest threat facing Malaysia today is religious conflict and the LGBT. This is the biggest threat to us. And there are so many more people who have said that they are infectious. I got no more time to tell you, otherwise we'll be here tomorrow in the time warp. The next nominee are those characterizing Islam, LGBT as being against Islam. Again, the top of my list, who has been saying this? The Deputy Prime Minister of our country, Muhyiddin Yassin. Also, our past MP, Khalid Samad, as well as the Muslim Lawyers Association, Azrael Muhammad Amin. Everybody wants to join this bandwagon. Everybody is saying we cannot have LGBT because it's not Islamic. Those of you who are Muslim must do something. I mean it, and we all help you. We also do with you, don't worry. Okay, and the next category, next nominee is for committing character assassination of a particular Pakatan Rakyat General Election 13 candidate by associating them with LGBT issues. I don't know if you can guess who I'm talking about. Wat Lah. So this is for committing character assassination. There are so many people lining up trying to assassinate him. I haven't got time to tell you everybody. But of course, top of the list, surprise, surprise, is the Prime Minister, who warned us against the twin dangers of pluralism and LGBT. Yeah. Then is also S. Nalakarupan, President of Parti Bersatu India Malaysia, who said bisexuals are not qualified to be PM. I'm not sure why. Maybe because bisexuals love too much. I don't know. Maybe because bisexuals cannot decide. Maybe they're greedy. Anyway, he thinks they're not suitable. Also, 3 days before the last election, the Pertubuhan Silat Seni Gayong Malaysia took away an award they gave to Anwar Ibrahim. The reason they gave, they said because they discovered Anwar Ibrahim supports LGBT transgender agenda, which contradicts their struggle. I think they're struggling against reality. It contradicts their struggle against reality, so they took the award away. And the list goes on and on. So now we have in Malaysia this very strange situation. You want to attack the LGBT, you attack Anwar. You want to attack Anwar, you attack LGBT. It's a vicious cycle. I don't know how to get out of it, but we must break the cycle. And our next nominee is making empty promises to women about improving pro. In New York, say something else in Perlis. Do you think people in Perlis don't watch CNN? It's true, people in America don't watch Perlis TV. So our PM, his flip-flop won't stop. So in a global conference called Women Deliver, our PM said this: women's voices help formulate solutions, policies, and strategies which will ensure the advancement for women and girls in our country, our region, our world. Wow, such a nice statement. I think we should clap for him. Yeah, slow clap, like good, very good. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. All I want to say to him is this. 5%. Mr. Prime Minister, 5% is not good enough advancement for us. If women's voices are important, then 50% advancement at least. 50% voices at least. What is this 5%? Is nothing, it is crap. So I want to say, Mr. Prime Minister, if women are important, then Parliament job is not to be Project Runway, telling us how to dress, telling us what to wear. This is not our Parliament for. If women is important, then rapists should not go free. Okay, Mr. President, Prime Minister, whatever you are, wherever you are. And the winner is, envelope please. Enough already. Enough already. And the winner is characterizing LGBT as a dangerous illness, infectious disease. Unfortunately, all the people who are currently attacking the LGBTs cannot be here today because there has been an unforeseen outbreak of dengue, SARS, H1N1. Parliament was too busy choosing fabric to see the epidemic coming. Sorry. But finally, we come to some good news. Not everything was all gloom and doom. So let's celebrate some good things that happened in the country last year. The first thing is the federal court decision to dismiss the government's appeal to ban a book by Sisters of Islam. This is the right on track category. So the federal court decided to dismiss the government appeal to ban the book by Sisters in Islam. In fact, the judge said Dato' Abdul Wahab Patel called the ban an outrageous defiance of logic. Now we all know our government is always defiantly illogical. But to have somebody in court say for once they are illogical, it feels so nice. Not only he said this, he said it falls within the meaning of unreasonableness and irrationality. I was so glad to hear them being called illogical, irrational, and unreasonable. These are three very good words for all of them. And the next nominee is an assemblywoman's appointment of a trans woman as his political secretary. This is the first time this has happened. So DAP assemblyperson for Tanjong Bunga, Tay Yi Chu, appointed Hasrin Sheikh Daud to be his political secretary. And then also very happy to know the High Court decision to declare religious conversion by one parent of a child unconstitutional. Yes, the poor people have suffered long enough. In 2009, Indira Gandhi's husband converted to Islam, take her 3 children, convert them too. He didn't ask her permission, or consent. Even the children are not there. Then the case went to the High Court, and the Judicial Commissioner Lee Swee Seng said the conversion certificates of the children are not valid. They are null and void because unilateral conversion to Islam was unconstitutional and against natural justice. I think this deserves a round of applause. And another case that has been fighting since 2009, Nur Fadila Ahmad Saikin had her job taken away by the Education Ministry because she was pregnant. So she sued the government, she won. But the government appealed against her, took the appeal to the court. But now they've changed their mind about the appeal. So for changing the mind, the government has been nominated. They are not very good at many things, but they're very good at changing their mind. Hopefully this means that CEDAW has now the force of law in Malaysia and will continue to stand without government interference. And the winner of the Right on Track Award is everybody! No, it can only be one winner. Everybody is a winner, but there's only one award. Open the envelope. hesitate. You got me going crazy and you know I can't sleep. The fortune of dreams that you hypnotize me.
And the award goes to the decision that religious conversion by one parent is unconstitutional. I hope this puts an end to the suffering of so many women out there who have not been able to get help. But now I think to know that somebody was successful will give other people hope. Now, as I was saying earlier to you today, this is just the tip of the iceberg, the awards here. I was talking earlier to somebody, she said, it's too bad that now, this time, not so many famous politicians, they got the name on the list. But is it because they behave better? No. It's because there's so many other people also. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. The iceberg is so big that even the politician cannot, however stupid, can only be on the little bit. On the top is more and more people like you and me. This for me is very worrying. If it's just the people in parliament, not so bad. We can get rid of them. Not like people in Telok Intan. Never mind. This is non-partisan. But we can get rid of them. But what about all the other people, all the new NGOs which are coming up, all the people who want to have hudud, all the people who want to have more and more laws against women and against gender equality? Why is this happening? This is the big iceberg that's coming towards us on the Titanic. Or in Malaysia, the Titanic, because we're twice as good as everybody else. But it's very worrying to see this big iceberg and we are going towards it. It is coming towards us. There's going to be a crash. So we think that the feminism is doing very well. It's doing very well. But it's not enough at the moment. All the work of the Joint Action Group for Gender Equality, all the work of the people here, they have now 10 times more work, I think, than ever before. This is the big danger the country is facing now, the danger against women. This is the big danger I feel is happening in the globe. The shooting recently in America is an indication of something very wrong happening in the world, also happening in Malaysia. So I hope together we can do something about this. I know here today we are here to laugh. It's good to laugh. The only way to fight is have a sense of humor, otherwise we give up. But let's say today we renew our commitment to fight against all this gender inequality, because otherwise the iceberg crashing to us, the boat will sink. And we are not unsinkable. Yes, even Kate Winslet cannot help us. Cannot help us. So thank you very much everybody. I would say very big thanks to all of you for giving so generously. And a very big round of applause for the work of the Joint Action Group for Gender Equality. Thanks.
Don't go yet, stay on stage. Everybody, one more round of applause for amazing Ribena Berry. And because we love you so much, we got flowers for you. And these flowers are generously donated each year, 2 years in a row now, this one 3rd year, by me from My Fair Lady. Shout out before we wrap up. So I've got a quick laundry list right here. So thank you to all the staff and volunteers. Thank you to Merdekarya for hosting us here. Thank you so much. Thank you, of course, to the audience. Thank you to you guys for being a wonderful and enthusiastic audience. Big round of applause. Short announcement to the media. You've got press kits waiting outside. So on your way out, grab one. It's full of information that you can use to write your story on this award ceremony. And of course, finally, if you haven't donated and wish to donate, the donation box is still outside on your way out. Thank you everyone, have a good night, get home safe.